be disbarred, I would be put in jail. That's a criminal offense. So that never happened. And if you want to talk about serving the public, you serve a Democratic district, and yet it's still, you put your own interests in front of the district because the district says, we want embryonic stem cell research. We want a woman's right to choose, and because you don't believe in that, you vote against it. So I would never, ever put my own interests before my constituents. That's what a public servant does. Thank you.
I don't believe it's given us a poll on that. You know, there's people here that in Fort Bend County, there's a lot of church people here in Fort Bend County that believe and don't believe in embryonic stem cell research in our whole life, you know. And that is my position.
Well,
it's been my position all this time. I've never changed.
Okay, Dora, let me ask you another question that has to do with some of your voting in the past. Did you vote for the bill that legalized same-sex marriage?
No.
I mean, that decriminalized, or what am I trying to say? That made it illegal to have same-sex marriage. Did you vote to make it illegal to have same-sex marriage? You did?
Mm-hmm.
So you're anti-gay?
No, those are two different things.
Two different things.
They are two different things?
Yeah,
How are
they
they
are.
two different things?
No, I voted, there's been legislation that has been pushed through the House, not all is not passed, and against the
We can't hear you. Can you use the
discrimination.
microphone, please?
Can you move up?
No, they can't hear you in the back either.
I'm just kidding.
How would you vote on this, I think another question that's coming up is going to require that women contemplating abortion have a sonogram. How are you going to vote on that?
I will vote, yeah.
You would vote for them to have a sonogram?
Well, it's not have to have, but it says, but the law that has been pushed says is that they will require the people to tell the lady, hey, will you take a sonogram? The woman's not going to be pushed for that, but they will tell the woman, will you take a sonogram? We have that opportunity.
So
for
you
the
would
women.
not vote to require them to have a sonogram?
That's not what the law.
I'm not asking you that. I'm asking you that if that came up in the legislature that says that a woman is required to have a sonogram before she can have an abortion, would you vote for that bill?
I would vote for a bill that would require the doctor to offer the sonogram. That's what I voted for in the
Okay.
past.
All right. And would you vote to name me one significant piece of legislation that you sponsored and has your name on in the time that you have been in the
You
legislature?
know, I'm really glad you asked that question. I'm
Okay.
really glad you asked it because a lot of times people don't realize that House Bill 3, I led some real strong efforts on making sure, and this is about bringing the black and brown caucuses together, making sure that kids don't get tracked in our schools. That just didn't happen. It wasn't my legislation. We fought that bill. When you're in Austin, you just don't pass legislation. You also work on legislation that's coming through and try to make it better or try to get rid of it.
Okay, so
I'll just give you another example. No, you need to, no, you asked me the question to give you another example. We have a state school in Richmond. A few years ago, an amendment was added to the bill. It wasn't my bill. That would have allowed privatization of state schools in Texas. Gladys Conner, who was one of my constituents, came to me and said, Ms. Olivo, they did that, you need to do something. The next morning I went in there, gathered some Republicans and Democrats together, and we came up with an amendment saying it's got to be 25% cost savings if you want to privatize. Guess what? We passed the amendment. Didn't have my name on it. There's a lot of other examples like that.
Okay.
That things that I've worked on. So that's, and I have, House Bill 171 has got a lot of media attention this lifetime, and the tax legislation, it wasn't my bill that passed, but my wording is in there because I worked on that legislation for many years, and there's a lot of other issues I worked on.
Okay, all right. You need to
We've got cameras that have driven from Austin, so we're going to have to move on. We have,